Here we go, Phil. Welcome to a brand new year.
Yes, the first Nightline for 2016.
That's the one.
And boy, we're looking forward to your company. We want to hear all about your New Year's Eve. Didn't we have an exciting trip out of town? We were the only car on the road last night at midnight.
I'll tell you all about it. It was the best view. Well, no, the best view of the fireworks, where people went. Not necessarily right into the city, but out in the outskirts of the city.
Yes.
Reports around town on 3AW and the media today. Oh, yes, we had the best view and at remote and unusual places.
Yes, you didn't need to be in the heart of the city.
But Phil drives me up Collins Street because we came in one car at midnight.
Yes.
And it was like Beirut. I was quite frightened, Phil.
The noise, it was deafening, Bruce, wasn't it?
And there were sparks and coming off buildings. And
Yeah, I know. It was like Melbourne was on fire. But, you know,
you say, halfway up Collins Street, in the delugeable, people racing across Collins Street, bombs going off on the top of buildings all over the place.
Yeah.
You say, "Hey, buddy, this is the best view of the fireworks if we don't have a head-on in Spring Street."
But it's true. I had to concentrate. We were the only car moving in Collins Street.
Yeah, we were.
Everybody come to stop. And we had the best view of the fireworks because we kept moving from building to building.
Yeah, except if you're driving. How can you cock your head out the passenger?
Oh, you can't miss it through the windscreen. But we were well out of the CBD by 12:10 when the fireworks stopped, because after that everyone converges on the city and ignores traffic lights, and it's just gridlock. You just can't move in the city.
Well, you're right.
Yeah.
I think we were in Nicholson Street at about 12:05.
We did very well indeed. I was home by 12:20, but we really had the most spectacular view and sound of the fireworks.
Yeah, but mind you, if in like years to come, you say, "Do we go and see the fireworks?" Yes. Oh, I'll hop in the car. We'll go up and down Collins Street for half an hour.
Yes.
I mean, you wouldn't do it in a blue fit.
No, but that's where you see all the spectacle of it, rather than just being one spot.
But not stationary.
No, we're the only car on the move.
You may as well watch Channel 9.
Apart from a couple of taxis, nobody was moving anywhere. But folks, share your New Year's Eve with us. Where were you?
Now listen, were the dogs and the pets spooked? We had a lot of calls last night about worrying about the domestic pets and how they get shocked, when they hear that sudden pellet.
Well, I saw on the 9 News tonight about 30 strays had been checked into the Lord Smith.
Yes, I saw that.
And hopefully they had ID on them so they could be returned to their owners.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
But it does frighten the animals, absolutely.
Now, what
doubt.
about illegal fireworks? Totally banned in your neighbourhood. Was there evidence of a little bit of skullduggery out the back?
Aren't they hoons to be letting off fireworks? They can blind you or kill you.
Oh, of course.
It's so dangerous.
And there were people saying they're up all night because of these clowns.
Oh, yes, yes. They're just hoons. Why can't they go and join in at Flagstaff Gardens or something?
Yeah.
Be part of the mob.
Gee, wasn't there a big crowd down on the beach this morning? It didn't finish at midnight. Down they went to St Kilda.
Yes, and the big party
Albert Park.
at Reavers on the beach this evening.
Yeah.
A big rave party that's going on indefinitely.
That was huge, wasn't it?
Yeah, so, folks, it's so wonderful to be back with you in our 26th year together.
Yeah.
Would this be something of a record in radio
I don't think
around
so.
the world?
No, I don't
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, Carson worked with, what's his name, for 30, 40 years.
And there was television. I just think we're ready for Queen's birthday.
Oh,
or
rubbish.
something.
If you're hanging out for that, you'll be going for the rest of your life.
You could nominate me and I could nominate you.
No,
we could fill in separate forms.
How false is that?
Oh, I don't think so.
You want a totally independent body to say, yes, I recommend them.
I don't expect to be Sir Philip, but just an AO or something.
Oh, you won't get any AO. What are you talking
For
about?
60 years contribution to show business.
So what?
And charity.
Yeah, but not doing anything.
No, maybe
Just
not.
sitting on your auto every night opening your mouth.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
It's 10:11. Cameron, how are things, Cameron?
Oh, yes, good. Happy New Year, boys.
Yes.
And Philip and the Kensters.
You are the first call of the year, Cameron.
Oh, yes, well, Happy New Year, everyone.
Yes.
All the listeners.
That's right.
On 3AW and around the world on the internet. Yes, no, it's very well behaved in Berwick. There were fireworks in the distance. You could hear the occasion, but nothing like in 2015.
No,
And the roads were deserted. I only saw one family up in Scanlon Street coming back and sort of going inside. Nobody calling out Happy New Year. No no radios on loud, no people in the street, no hoons.
No.
It was and hardly a car on the road. I thought we'd just had a nuclear holocaust. Everyone was hiding. There was just no one out on the streets, and it was just except for one family which I saw right towards the end of my trip and heading home.
Yes.
And I thought, now it's very well behaved and very quiet. There were only a few fireworks going, and they weren't in my neighbourhood. They were sort of like in distant parts.
That's right, yes.
You could hear the popping going off, and maybe a few dogs barking, but nothing like 2015 was.
No.
Chaotic, but it was very quiet. Disappointing. I went out and spent an hour out. It was still a warm night, but I got a lovely cool breeze at the top of the hill.
It was good, wasn't it? Yeah.
And that cool breeze was worth it, boy.
Oh, man, was it?
Yeah, when you get that cool breeze after a hot day, that's just, beautiful. And it's right in the middle of the night, so it's peace. It was peaceful.
Very peaceful, lovely night.
And Cameron, what are your travel plans for this year?
Well, Hobart is on my, as long as I get my Qantas points, because they ran out with Woolies that stopped the adding to the Qantas this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I'm hoping I can collect them in January, and whenever Qantas want to fit me in, because I have to fit in with them, don't I?
Yes,
well, let's hope so, Cameron. All right. Well, thank you for your appraisal of last night, and a peaceful night was had by all.
Very quiet in Berwick, by the sound of it.
Very quiet. Yeah. New Year's resolutions, something you're not happy about yourself. Do you take note of the stars? There's a big double-page spread in the Sun today.
Some people take that very seriously. They're also into numerology, aren't they?
Well,
their whole lives are ruled by...
part of it. It's all part of it.
No, but their lives are ruled by numbers even.
Oh,
scary.
Stupid.
They wouldn't live in a certain house in a certain street because the number was unlucky or whatever.
Yeah, it's all superstitious, isn't it?
Yes, Elvis lived his life that way, so did Ronald Reagan.
What did they have?
Well, their numbers, they wouldn't get out of bed unless...
What were their numbers?
Well, I don't know what their numbers were, but
what was Ronald Reagan's number?
I'm just telling you, their lives were ruled by numbers. But, put all your faith in God, not this silly superstition and all this voodoo stuff and so on. It's nonsense, isn't it, Bruce? Don't you believe?
Hello to all the people who are reading their stars and who have written about them for the next year.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, yes, but don't put too much, credibility into it.
That's right. 96900 693. Anything you'd like to talk about? Let's talk. Let's broach the best ofs for the year.
Yes, and what are your aspirations for the year? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? What do you hope to achieve this year? What's on your bucket list?
Yeah, you might have a plan. What about the best book, best restaurant, best movie?
Yes, indeed.
Let's exchange a few ideas on 96900 693. This is a special New Year's Day edition of Nightline, the first for 2016, Phil.
Yes, and you're very welcome on 96900 693.
Colleen at Mornington.
Oh, Happy New Year, boys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Now, I must be getting grumpy because I just find fireworks boring.
Yeah, yes, why?
You seen one, you seen them all. That's how I think of the poor animals for a start, because they must be terrified, some of them, But saying that, it's just, I watched New York, I watched Russia, I watched Melbourne, and they all remind me, you seen one, you seen them all.
It is a bit like that, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know if I'm getting old and grumpy or what, or the heat's getting to me. But I just think, $7 million was. I know it's all for tourism too, but $7 million was spent on fireworks in Sydney. That's a hell of a lot of money. I mean, good luck to them, and hope they get it back tenfold. But that's a lot of money to spend just on fireworks.
Yeah, well, it's only once a year, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I know, but as I said, you see them once. We're going to have them for, no doubt, for Australia Day.
I don't think we do we?
But I know, as I said, in Mornington, we had them here in Mornington down on the waterworks, and it'd probably be very pretty.
Yeah.
But as I said, I don't know, I must be getting grumpy,
Oh, well.
But
I think, Colleen, it's a bit of getting used to it. We've had it year after year after year, and I think it becomes a little bit, we get a bit blasé about it.
Maybe that might be it too. Yeah, that very much so. You know. Yeah, like I look, watch New York, and I think it'd be very pretty and everything. And I would like to see the harbour on a cruise ship. I think that would be very pretty.
Be fabulous, yes.
Yeah, but saying that, I could live without it. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be on my bucket list.
I think you need to go and have a flute of champagne to celebrate the new year, Colleen.
Why?
You're going to shout me a bottle, are you, Phil?
No, but I just think you need to unwind and let your hair down a bit.
She has. She's had a great time. She's a bit sick of the fireworks.
Yeah, and talking to you boys, what more can I ask for?
Oh, thanks, Colleen.
It's deserving of a flute of champagne.
Right, bye.
Okay, love. Thank you, Colleen.
Did you
bye-bye.
catch in the news where Wayne Rogers died from MASH at the age of 82?
He was a very, very popular ingredient, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I must say, with reservations, I met him on the set of MASH, and from memory, he had a super ego. He had a very big ego.
Oh, well, it would have matched it, wouldn't it?
It was out of control.
You and him?
Out of control.
What did he say to you?
Oh, he just was a bit unfriendly and a bit uncooperative, and,
Well, what did you want from him?
But unlike people like Alan Alda and so on, who bent over backwards
Yeah, but what
to
would
please.
you want, rather than, good evening, how are you, enjoying it?
Well, I
Right.
was trying to get an interview out of him, but he was a bit...
Oh, you had a tape thrust under his nose.
he was a bit precious.
So you had a tape recorder.
Yes, I did. And I tell you who else also thought he was terrific.
Did you set that up with MASH publicity?
Oh, yeah,
or
no,
just
no,
barge in?
that was all set up for me. I tell you,
was it?
do you remember an actor by the name of Kevin McCarthy?
No.
Oh, he thought he was terrific too.
Oh, who didn't?
Oh, yes, but the bigger they are, the nicer they are.
And how are you taking yourself?
No, but if people like Bob Hope and Dick Van Dyke have got time for me, why hasn't Wayne Rogers?
Now, do you ever watch MASH?
No,
Oh, well, there you are, you see.
I didn't need to watch it.
You
I
wouldn't
was-
have even known this bloke from a bar.
Oh, yes, I was there to do some interviews.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, well, you wouldn't know him.
No, I knew enough about him to interview him.
You already kept talking, you kept calling him Hot Lips. No wonder he wouldn't talk to you. June, good evening.
Oh, Phil and Bruce, I was wondering if one of your listeners can help us. We've lost our dog.
Oh,
We've
because
been searching for it all day.
of the fireworks, maybe?
Well, that started off, and then it went to the beach this morning, got spooked by a dog and took off, which is never done. She's 9 years old. She's a Kelpie. She's black and tan, and she's very timid. And it happened down at Como Parade on Warrigal Road at the railway crossing there.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the last time she was seen at 8:30 this morning.
Oh, you'd be very upset. What's her name?
Her name is Lexi
Yes, and she's a black and tan Kelpie.
Kelpie.
And is she wearing ID?
No, she's only microchip. They took her collar off for her to go in the water.
Oh. Well, hopefully somebody will take her to a vet and I'll check the mic.
10:30 on the first day of a brand new year. How did all of our mates down in Mount Martha and Parkdale and Frankston with the blackouts last night? Remember all the prawns going droopy?
Oh, yes, and that lasted for hours, some of those blackouts.
Yeah, fellas with fridges full of prawns and mussels.
Oh, no, having to throw out all their frozen goods. Yeah, love to hear from you. Is your power back on
Did your
yet?
power get back just on, midnight or time for the crowd, the herd to arrive?
Well, they promised around 10 o'clock for most people, but...
Yes, they did, but there was litigation, wasn't there? A
Yeah,
class action
yes.
of neighbours and streets being taken?
Yeah, I'm not in favour of these smart meters. That's what the problem is.
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah, the energy companies can switch off selected smart meters of their choice. You know, because of an overload, because of the air conditioners.
But
or
couldn't they
whatever.
do the same at any time?
Yeah, I guess so.
If there's an overload of an air conditioner, that will take a whole suburb out.
Yeah, but with the smart meters, they can be selective about which homes they plunge into darkness.
Oh, can they?
I believe so, yes.
Well, let's not sort of air that too quickly without
Oh, no, that's
knowing
the
the
truth.
facts.
Oh, no, I know that's the way it works.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yes. Do you have a smart meter in the caravan?
No. Darren, good evening.
Good evening, Bruce and Phil. How are we?
Hi, Darren.
How are we? Long time no speak. I think it's been a few months since I called in. So I heard your first show back. Wish you both a very, very happy new year and a successful one.
Fabulous. Thank you, Darren.
You gentlemen were talking about the ambitions and hopes for 2016. Mate, I just want my old man to get better. That's all I hope for this year. He's hasn't been his best self for 2015. He's struggling a little bit at the moment, but I know he listens to you guys every night. So,
What's his name, Darren?
Victor,
Hello, Victor. Best wishes for the brand new year, Victor. You deserve it.
I appreciate that, gentlemen. I was brought up listening to you guys, so I've sort of taken over and listen all the time now, and he always listens out for me when I've called in. So I hope
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, we're thinking of you, Victor.
No, I appreciate that, gentlemen. I'm sure he'd be very, very happy to hear that.
All right, mate. Thank you
No
so
worries,
much.
gents. God bless. Bye-bye.
And to you and Dad, a very happy and healthy and new year.
Yeah. And please join me in saying hello to my mate Alexander at the Epworth Hospital. He's been stuck there for weeks, Bruce. Happy New Year, Alexander.
Alan at Berwick. Hello, Alan.
All the best, fellas. Look, I'd like to raise thanks very much for the Tocky Ham. My family greatly enjoyed it.
Oh,
It's a
great.
Small, close get-together. I think one of the most important things, I know I've raised this subject before, but I'll raise it again because I don't think people can be told enough. Europe just recently, about a month ago, quantitative eased a further $1 trillion into the economy. That is creating money from nothing to prop up an ailing economy. Yet we're told, as people, we can't do that because it will cause inflation. I think it's about time that we as people start to wake up and tell our governments, stop telling us lies about we don't have the money. Create debt-free money like other countries have done right across the world over periods of time to be able to create a great nation out of this country, become nation-building, and do what a commentator on the Max Kaiser show just recently said. He basically said that countries should start looking after themselves and trading with each other, in a sense, that internally, in other words. So I think these are important things to embrace for the new year. Economics is not right or left, and it seems to me that both the Liberal Party and the Labor Party, they're basically doing the tombstone two-step as far as I'm concerned economically. It's about time they both woke up.
All right,
All right.
you speak sense, Alan.
Thanks very much, boys. Anyway, and thanks again for the Tocky Ham. It was really good.
Yeah, it's good. A good slice, isn't it?
It is brilliant.
Okay, Alan, thank you very
Bye.
much. Does Alan mean that we should trade more with perhaps Canada, like-minded people?
Yeah, rather than perhaps China and Asia.
Not we exclude them.
No, but he's encouraging us more to speak to people who speak our language and share our culture.
Is that right?
That's his point of view, yes. Rather than reaching out perhaps to some of these third world countries.
Oh, thank you. Gee, I'm glad I'm working with you.
Yes, I'm sort of like Ross Greenwood, aren't I?
Not really. Steve, good evening.
Speak up, Steve, please.
Can you hear me?
Now.
Yeah, that's better.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Have you, while I was waiting, some fireworks were going off in the background. Could you believe it?
So give it a break.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crikey. Listen, any of you guys been to Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah, several times. We love it.
I don't suppose, Phil, you like a lot of burgers. Have you ever tried the Fleur burger over there?
No, I don't know that one. What is it?
Well, if you did, it would have set you back about $5,000, guys.
Strike, why?
Well, this is what's in it. I've never heard of this. Wagyu beef,
Yes.
foie gras truffle,
Yeah.
on a brioche bun served with a bottle of 1995 Chateau Petrus.
Uh-huh.
So I guess the wine must have cost a bit.
Yeah, to be lost on me, Steve.
Crikey. I don't know, guys, have you ever had a very expensive meal and felt absolutely famished and thought, I'm still hungry?
I think generally with the Chinese it's a bit like that, isn't it,
Yes,
Phil?
I agree, Bruce. You can have a big yum chow and an hour later you're starving.
Because it reminds me of the time I had a sort of blind date with someone, and I decided to, impress her by taking her to a restaurant in the city. I think it was in St Kilda, sorry. Have you heard of that restaurant? I don't know if it's still there. Jean-Jacques by the Bay.
Oh, yeah, very well known, yeah.
I don't know if it's still there, but yeah, it was about 1996 or something, and I took her there, and I had no idea. Everything was in French, I think, and she ordered a basket of chips, which to me looked like just nothing more than fish and chips. And I tried to impress her by ordering the special of the day, and it was a humongous fish, guys. It was the size of a car boot. And I couldn't even finish it. And I spent, a ton of money for the whole meal, and I was starving afterwards. And I think we went to make...
And you hear on the news tonight where those bushfires in, in the Surf Coast could burn till the winter.
Yeah, couldn't believe it.
It's a worry, isn't it?
I couldn't believe it. I've never heard so much long-range danger.
Yeah, it's like 6-month bushfire.
Yeah.
Really scary stuff.
You know, we can't touch it because it's there and it's going to be smouldering away there.
And so widespread, you see.
Yes,
That's
I
the problem.
suppose you're right. And winds down there are very
Those coastal winds.
choppy and coastal.
Very dense.
Eh?
Very dense down there.
Who's dense? You are?
No, you all are. No, it's very dense forest.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, of course it is. Yeah, it's very thick.
Yes.
Queenie!
Yes, Brucey and Philip, have a happy, safe and healthy new year. And I wanted to say, I'm going to have a whinge here, that I stayed with you all night, but I thought I'd get over to, well, Channel 2.
Oh.
I was absolutely, look, it wasn't a good coverage at all. And where do you think 2 was going up to? Crossing over to Sydney. And I absolutely didn't like the fireworks. I thought, to me, it was very, very samey. And as you said, it was much quieter in there because of the no drinking and the plenty of police around. What they were had a hard time about with the firemen, with these illegal fireworks. They set off grass fires. There were 2 grass fires. 2 men were hurt in the meantime, probably letting them off, and they're in hospital. See, this is what people don't understand. They're not allowed to have them. And they were out here. I could hear the big boom. And what I really think about, Philip, and you know that I'm an animal lover, I had a dog, Rocky. He was the most wonderful dog. But when I knew when he was going to hear thunder, I'd know 2 days he's probably everywhere. If I walked into a wardrobe, he would get in with me. And we had him up the road, and the thunderstorm come, and somebody opened their car door in the back, and he hopped into the boat, took him off and let him out there. He was gone for over a week.
Yes.
He was, and you know, dogs have 7 times hearing.
Yes, yeah.
7 times hearing than a human. Now, you imagine that going off in their ears.
Of course.
That's why they run madly away.
Oh, yes.
And that's why I don't like fireworks, and I think they're far too over the top. They're very samey, and I don't think they will ever beat Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Oh, well, okay, well, I suppose beg to differ there. I suppose every city puts its best face on. But there was a time when fireworks were totally illegal in the suburbs. You weren't to let off any fireworks, and I think we get very whimpery and we let things sort of abate a little bit and say, I'll let them play.
Yeah.
Now there's a big embargo against them again.
Well, where are these fireworks coming from, I want to know?
Well, does it matter?
I think
they're
they're coming-
illegal if you're lighting fireworks that are not okayed and you know, certified. You're breaking the law.
I think people are getting the mail order from Canberra. That's
Well, we
what I
don't
believe.
know that.
That's what I'm told.
Well, who tells you that?
Oh, well, the crims who are setting them
Well,
off.
take it to the police if you've got information like that. You can't harbour that to
Well,
your
I'm not
own
going
heart.
wandering at 2 in the morning with the torch
Well,
to
you're
dob
doing it at
someone
10
in.
past 11 on the radio.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to put my life at risk and maybe get knocked out by a thug in some park.
What, with a double bunger?
Yes, exactly. Or a Catherine Wheel or a Tom Thumb even.
Where's your guts?
Oh, no. No,
Boys-
stay indoors.
Can I ask you, when did the fireworks start? Because now the last time I can remember going into the city for New Year's Eve, my mum took me in for the end of the 70s, 1979.
Would have been.
Everybody congregated around the GPO.
Would have been.
The clock struck 12. Everybody said Happy New Year. There was hooping and hollering, and I think we all went home.
And before that, when I was a little kid, there was... there would be a chain, people, like a human chain around the clock in the GPO.
Like a conga line.
A conga line. And the big thing in the sun the next morning was a pretty girl kissing a policeman.
Policeman.
Who took the hat off and, and off they went to Clifton Hill and home.
And that was it.
And that was it.
So when did this huge celebration when you
No,
had to have
the only time we
fireworks?
had fireworks was after Mooma, if you remember.
But
in
let's
years
get
gone
back
by.
to your point is the beginning of the year. When did it start? Who started it? And what was the reason?
And why did we have to join in? And
Yeah,
because it's of course massive now. The crowds that they get are enormous.
it is. It is. You're so right.
But once upon a time, we'd go to the GPO, say Happy New Year, we'd all go home.
Yep, and put some saucepans on the back of your car.
Pretty much.
Good on you. Thanks. You have a good point, actually. When did it all start? When
yeah.
did we come into town to watch those double bangers?
Yeah, it was only the Moomba fireworks originally.
Well, we don't know about that. We're talking about the start of the new year.
Yeah, but I'm talking about back in the
Vivian at
mid-50s.
Geelong. Good evening, Vivian.
Hello, Bruce and Philip.
Yes, Vivian, hello.
I'd like to wish you both a very happy new year.
Yes.
And good health to both of you.
Thank
for the
you
future,
so much.
and
That's lovely.
Peace and happiness.
Thank you so much.
Now, I totally loved the show yesterday, and I was so thrilled that you started so early.
Yeah, so were we.
Yeah, I wish it had continued.
Yes.
And I did exactly what Gigi did. I listened to you, but then I put the telly on to see the fireworks.
All right, yes.
Yeah, and I looked at Channel 2, they had Sydney, Channel 9 had Sydney, so I stuck with Channel 7, they had Melbourne.
Good.
Oh, good, good.
Oh, look, and it was absolutely beautiful, and I think there's just competition between Sydney and Melbourne. You know, like I think Sydney used 7 tonne of,
Yes.
what do you call it?
Fireworks, yeah.
Fireworks, and Melbourne had 10. But even though we don't have the beautiful bay and the bridge, I think it was fantastic for Melbourne.
Yes, it was.
You know, and a pity that a few other stations didn't just, you know, show the Melbourne.
Oh, well, at least you had Channel 7 waving the flag.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yes.
So all the best for the new year.
All right, Vivian,
And
thanks so
I
much.
hope the powers that be give you the extra 2 hours back.
Okay, darling, thank you so much.
Good night.
Thank you for your greetings.
All right.
Good night.
That's what most of the Christmas cards indicate too, but like I spoke earlier.
Oh, is that right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
Yes,
And thanks for all your cards. We do appreciate them.
Yes, very much so.
They've been wonderful. We're still ploughing through them, aren't we?
Yeah,
Opening
we
them
are.
and reading them.
A bit of criticism around the traps today about Channel 2's coverage.
Oh, yes?
We didn't see it, naturally, because we were here, but it was all a bit second-rate, apparently.
I believe especially the commentary at 9:30 for the children was very second-rate.
Oh,
I'm
really?
told.
Really?
From people who watched it, yes, it was very childish and boring.
All right.
So I'm told. But then you had the choice, and I'm sure most people would have been loyal.
All right, so did you see the coverage on Channel, on the ABC last night?
Yes, which was the Sydney fireworks, of course. Yes, of the bridge.
Did they
and the
cover
harbour.
Melbourne at all?
No, Channel 7 covered Melbourne only. No, if you watch the ABC, you only got the
Anyway,
coverage from Sydney.
How was ABC's coverage of the fireworks? Love to hear from you.
And by the way, how'd you get on with the free public transport last night? Was it a breeze? Was it easy getting
And
home?
are you going to use it? Because apparently it's going to be part of our folklore for the next whenever.
And so it should be every weekend too. We're a city of 4 million people.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you use it last night? How accessible was home to get home? Easy. Good. 17 past 11.
Anything in it whatsoever. And I didn't realise that Channel 7 were doing Melbourne only,
Yes.
because I switched back and forward from 2 to 9, hoping that I would see Melbourne, and I didn't. And then I switched over to Channel 7 later and got the program very, very late, and I'm sorry that I missed it.
Yes.
Because the sentiment that went out and the feelings with the team that were running that was absolutely brilliant. And I think also the fireworks, I don't know if people agree with me, but the fireworks were absolutely stupendous in Melbourne. Once I've seen them, Sydney have got one thing to hang their hat on, and that's a coat hanger.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they chuck everything off the bloody harbour bridge, and that's about it. And it is boring.
Yeah.
Whereas when I saw the replay of Channel 7, I thought it was magnificent. The commentary, everything else, they followed the river up. You got a beautiful scope of what our city is about and why the fireworks were for going off. So anyway, I feel terribly sorry for your previous caller too about her predicament with her home,
Yes.
Centrelink getting in touch. But unfortunately, a lot of people are going to have to realise this, because those that are going to be most disadvantaged are, now that it has come in, legislation is going through for those mothers, unmarried mothers, some of them very, very young, 16, 17, have one or two children, are going to lose their Centrelink entitlement because they will not take contraception.
Mm.
Now, I heard the woman from Right to Life and everything else, she was on this afternoon, carrying on about it is our right, we can decide what we are going to do. We have also a right as taxpayers, well, not anymore, but I was a taxpayer all my life. Now, if these girls are not wanting to take contraception and control their habits and their birth control, why should we keep putting up and paying? I've heard of some girls, or, you know, some very, very young mothers with 6 children. Half of them, they don't know who the husband is because they generally clear out anyway. I see them in local shopping centres with about 3 prams pushing them up and down with these little toddlers, bolting all over the joint, and they're getting paid well over $1,000 a week. So they can't work. I understand that. But if they take contraception, do not have children, they have an opportunity then to get themselves a job and their life happening for them, because it is not going to keep going on. And now the government are really coming in very, very hard, particularly on those on disabled pensions.
All right, Linz, there's no denying that, and forever and a day since radio has been on air and the media has been accessible, the argument has always been the same, hasn't it?
Yes.
Contraception, too many children, taking advantage of the system.
Yeah, and the government just aren't going to have free handouts anymore. They're just putting their foot down.
But that has happened ad infinitum for 50 years.
It's nothing new, that's for sure.
Hasn't it?
No, it's like a record going
I'm
around.
not saying it's good, bad, or indifferent, and there are many that would agree with you, Lindsay, without any shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, and there are 2 sides to the coin as well.
There are 2 sides, and forever and a day, those 2 sides are being listened to, heard, and adjudicated.
Yeah, but there's no doubt Centrelink and the government are toughening up and pulling in the belt.
Well, they have for years.
Yeah, and so they should.
There's no doubt about it.
There shouldn't be free handouts.
11. Brand new day, brand new year, Phil, 2016.
Yeah, and looking forward to remember when at the normal time of 8 o'clock Sunday.
Wow, is that going to be a big show?
Yeah, it'll be like another New Year's Eve party, I promise you.
Will it?
Without the fireworks.
Hello, this is our forecast. Overnight down to 17 degrees, quite a mild night. And then in the morning a little drizzle and a fine afternoon, top of 26. And that pretty well sets the mark for the weekend.
Yeah, it'd be nice weather for a barbecue, perhaps.
Oh, yes. Marilyn at West Rosebud.
Hello, Bruce and Phil.
G'day, Marilyn.
My poem tonight is 2016, Bruce and Phil.
Thank you.
Welcome to the new year with our great mates Phil and Bruce. Ahead each day and night, they give our nights a boost. So many listeners call with interesting suggestions, young or elderly, even ones on pensions. For no matter what we say on 3AW each night, our Bruce and Phil is always a delight. To be there to believe and help us see the coming day, for compassion, understanding in a loving, friendly way. I know I speak for many who call and are never lonely and tune in, and especially at their will. Our dearest friends who we all love, God bless you, Bruce and Phil.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, thank you. And I wondered what you were going to rhyme suggestions with. You did so well, Marilyn.
Thank you.
Yes, that was lovely.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Love you.
Okay, darling. You know there are certain words you can't rhyme?
I believe so, like orange is one, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
And two or three others?
That's right under my nostril.
Two or three others.
Orange.
Purple
Try and rhyme orange.
Yeah, it's not easy. Purple is another one.
What's orange then?
Well, it's impossible to find a word to rhyme with it, I'm told.
Mm-hmm.
Porridge? What rhymes with porridge?
Orange.
All right.
Good. Let's shut you down in flames. Karen and Sunshine.
Hi, Bruce and Phil.
Hello, Karen.
I can't find any word that rhymes with Australia.
What about failure?
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
I was going to say, it's a nice poem, though. But there's some bad things happening on the news. I was thinking about it. And did you hear about the plane, the jet that flew into Montreal, and it did a sudden drop? And most of the passengers hit the head on the roof of the plane. I mean, that's how bad it was. It just dropped dramatically. And apparently 23 people were taken to hospital and 16 were injured.
But hang on, they'd be wearing seatbelts when they came into land.
I don't know if they were coming into land. I don't know whereabouts on the journey it was.
Right.
But I know they hit their head on the roof of the plane. Well, they can get a lot of money out of that too.
Yeah, that might be due to wind shear or turbulence, yeah.
And the other thing is, what about the towering inferno in Dubai?
Oh, unbelievable.
Apparently it started as a little fire in one of the units. I don't know how big the building was. I think it was about 35.
Yeah, it went straight up the side of the building.
Straight up. Yeah,
You'd think they would have cancelled their fireworks, wouldn't you, because of that?
Yeah, one man had another in a wheelchair. He had to carry her down 35
I
floors.
know, yeah.
Shocking, but that's happened just before midnight too.
I know.
Before the fireworks, they didn't cancel them.
No, they went ahead with them, yeah.
All right, I'm enjoying your show tonight.
All right, Karen, have a lovely evening and a good weekend and a lovely year.
Goodbye.
Good night. David at Edithvale.
Morning or evening, gentlemen.
Yes.
Happy New Year. How are you?
G'day, David.
Good. Fireworks in the city. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. 1999 into 2000 may have been the start of the big fireworks.
Oh, it might well have been, yes. The K2, what was
The K2 bug and the Millennium Year, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe, look, I may be wrong, but just thinking about it, and I was living in the city at that time. And, yes, we had the big fireworks display.
Yes, we did.
Oh, well, good on you, David. That could have been the start of it all.
Could have been, and also the ABC's coverage last night of the fireworks. Yes, Sydney-based, because the harbour is the harbour and Melbourne is Melbourne, totally different scenario. But I love the pub trivia. I don't know if anyone watched the pub trivia.
I think it was the lowest rating of any segment on television
well, it's a shame, because everyone
night.
turned off and it was brilliant. It was absolutely fantastic.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, but at 11 o'clock, obviously, if people read their guides, you'd see in the guide that at 11 o'clock on Channel 7, we went to Melbourne.
That's it.
That was fabulous.
All right, David, thanks for your call.
All the best, guys.
Okay, mate. Thank you, David. Happy New Year. Thanks for calling. 24 minutes to midnight. This is 3AW.
Electricity and gas,
Yeah.
and it's ongoing too. It won't ever expire.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I'll just save more year by year.
These ads are working for you.
And you see, the more people who join, the more money you're going to save.
All those ads are working for you, aren't they?
Yeah,
You're
so
taking advantage of everyone that comes along. The real estate agents.
Of course. Why not? That's
the
what
Jayco caravans.
That's what we're here to advertise.
Oh, well, you're marvellous taking advantage of it.
No, I support our valued clients.
Good on you, mate.
Yes.
That's the way.
I put my money where my mouth is,
No
buddy.
more going overseas. Just see the Great Ocean Road and the surroundings.
Yeah, I think you're right.
That's the way.
I think I'm over overseas travel.
Yeah,
I've been everywhere I want to
easily
go.
swung in 20 minutes. Brian at Thornbury, good evening.
G'day, Brian.
Good evening, Bruce and Phil.
What's your story?
First time call to your show.
Right.
Happy New Year to both of you.
Thank you.
I've just given you a ring regarding that lady who phoned earlier on about possibly losing her home. She could have access to free financial counselling who may be able to save that home for her. And also, if she contacted the credit helpline of the Consumer Credit Legal Service in the city, they have lawyers who specialise in debt and credit.
So hang on, it's a free financial counsel, and what's the other one?
The other one is the how they changed the Money Help so Money Help, which is in the city.
Money Help,
And they provide financial counselling to people.
All right.
And they can give you some information immediated over the phone.
And is that free? Is that free advice?
It's free, yeah. It's free advice, and it's paid for by the government.
Well, there you are, Karen.
That's very kind of you, Brian. Thank you for doing that.
Yes.
I used to be a financial counsellor up until about a year ago, but yeah, she can get that free financial counselling.
Oh,
And
that's-
she'll be able to save her home.
That's very kind of you to do that. If not, putting her on a very good passage as far as advice is concerned.
So there you are, Karen. Free
So,
financial counselling.
Thank you very much, Brian.
From a company called Money Help.
Very kind of you for ringing in there. 'Cause
Yes.
It's a desperate situation by the sound of
She
it.
is desperate, Karen.
Ruth in South Melbourne.
Hi, boys. I'll get onto it all very quick, Karen.
That's
Yeah.
all right. Oh, yes.
Karen, you need to renegotiate things with your bank. If you've got a friend who's got a spare room, move in with them. Get tenants into your house that can be paying the bank. You might have to have a year or 6 months really cutting back and doing that. You can also appeal your disability claim with Centrelink. You can re-appeal it. So look into appealing it and getting further support letters. Call up your local member for Parliament and get a support letter. And they will know that you take it seriously, and because you're going to have ongoing problems, you need to let them know you need to reapply, and often. The other thing, too, is you may have to accept, I know you said that it's hard to find jobs and you've applied for many jobs. I think you've got to take the next step, Karen, become self-employed. I know you said you were a medical receptionist. You could start a little business specialising in going out and doing medical reception work on an on-call type basis. And you'd be making good money. You'd be making about $90 an hour. And then as a self-employed person, you can write off a lot of expenses. You can take out a shop, and all of your expenses are tax deductible. So, the salary jobs are not going to exist much longer. And you've got to take the next step. And I know it seems frightening, but just think about doing that. Just let it work around in your brain. You can get training for small business operations and things like that. And you're an adaptable person. You've got to remember you've got a lot of assets. You're someone who can adapt. This whole crisis has taught you to be very resourceful and frugal. So it seems like an awful thing, but you might have a hard 18 months ahead, but you can rebuild. Okay, so if it's any use, I'll leave my phone number with Ken.
Hey, what a very kind Ruth, that's very kind of you to do that. We do appreciate that.
No problem.
So please hold the line. We'll take your number. And that's some very sound advice.
Yeah,
and of course,
sorry, Bruce. Sometimes in life we just have to take the next step.
yes, of course, and maybe that next step is going to be a lot tougher than it is to sit back and say, "Please help me." You've got to put that first step in yourself.
Yes, so there you are. We'll try and put you in touch with Karen.
And Ruth, with who?
With Karen, who's in trouble.
Well, Ruth, if you'll hold the line now, we'll take your number. Amanda, good evening, Amanda.
Good evening, and all best wishes for the new year.
Thank you, Amanda.
I thought, just on a lighter note, I was sitting here listening to you and racking my brains for something that rhymed with orange.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the best I could do for short was, I got a sore throat, I needed to coat. So I had a lozenge that tasted orange.
Yes, that's about the closest you'll get.
I couldn't do any better.
You've done very well. And for that, we're going to give you an orange pass for the Pancake Parlour.
Thank you so much.
This is for a lovely afternoon or morning tea of pancakes. Open 24 hours at High Point, Doncaster and Malvern East, and it's just lovely.
That's just made my evening.
All right, darling. Now, don't be impatient and hang up, because we'll get to you as soon as Ken works things out.
Okie dokie.
And knows how to pick that phone up.
Good on you, Amanda. Bye.
All right, just hold on, Amanda. Tommy at Langwarren.
Yeah, Bruce and Phil. Congratulations on your programming. It's a wonderful audience time. But why I'm ringing tonight, the Great Ocean Road that you just mentioned.
Yes.
My father was in the First World War, and on the day that they were ready to leave the army announced that they would get a job for each of the soldiers that were finished for the First World War. So what came up was that we are going to build a Great Ocean Road down past Geelong, to Warrnambool.
Yeah.
And they said you'll be paid the rates, and if any of you are in the pick and shovel area, I suppose they said, you've got the job. So my father went with the number of soldiers to be given a job after coming out of the army, and they camped in tents on the side of the road. They fed themselves, and I never got how long it took them, but I can remember they used to use explosives to that Warrnambool area, or the road area, had huge rocks alongside. Anyway, one time they used some dynamite to move such of it, and my father got caught in the hole that did it, but they got him out and he was saved.
Right.
But the thing was, it was just the idea of the officer when they were leaving the army, we're going to look for a job for you. We've heard that they're going to build this beautiful freeway from Geelong down to Warrnambool.
Yeah. It was the Susso, wasn't it? The Susso plan?
Yes, and they
sustenance.
also built the boulevard around.
Sydney Meyer got that going around the boulevard too.
Yes.
So a lot of that work was going on. Good on you, Tommy. Thank you.
A few lines called The Boss and the Leader. The boss drives men, the leader coaches them. The boss depends on authority, the leader on goodwill. The boss inspires fear, the leader inspires enthusiasm. The boss says I, the leader says we. The boss fixes the blame for the breakdown, the leader fixes the breakdown. The boss knows how it's done, the leader shows how it's done. The boss says go, the leader says let's go.
Copyright prevents distribution of this piece by any means of duplication.
Well, there's the first day of the brand new year almost gone.
Yes, and it's wonderful to be into our 26th year together.
Well, it's the first day of the new year.
Yes.
Let's take easy steps.
Yes, let's hope we don't kill each other during the year.
Oh, well, that's a lovely resort, isn't it? That's a lovely resolution.
Absolutely.
Nice too, isn't it? Up for murder.
I'll try and keep it under control, my passions.
Oh, good. Well, we'll all watch that with a great deal of interest. Thank you for joining us on this, the first day of the brand new year. Yeah. Andrew McLaren and Simon will be with you after midnight for Australia Overnight.
Yes, and Bruce and Phil back Sunday night at 8 for Remember When.
Indeed.
Thank you, Ken.
Why? Good night, Samuel, Carter, Amelia and Emily, Charlotte, Sweet Ella Grace, little William Oliver, and Sophia Grace. See you in the morning, kids.
And my mate Alexander in the Epworth Hospital in the Erin Street there, been stuck on the second floor.
And see you on Sunday night for Remember When.
Enjoy the weekend, Bruce.
Indeed.
And thanks, folks, for all your cards and gifts and messages. We do appreciate them so much.
Oh, indeed we do. And
we'll acknowledge them, each and every one of them, in time.
Oh, yes. Give us plenty of time, won't you?
I've been indisposed. I've been on medication, you know. Good night, Bruce.
Good night, everybody. That's the way she went today.
It's time to say goodbye, goodbye. It's sad, but time's the reason why we must bid farewell for a day or two. So till you come back again, think of us now and then. Think of us a little bit, 'cause we'll be thinking of you. Week has gone so very fast, but
what's past is past, and we are looking forward to next week's anew. Though you are out of sight, we'll find you are not out of mind. Think of us a little bit, 'cause we'll be thinking of you.
We hate saying goodbye.
Hardly an eye is dry. We'd like to put it up till tomorrow, then we'd only say
The goodbyes we should be saying today.
time is something we cannot borrow. We'll count the hours till Monday's show, and there's one thing you must know: believe every word we say is true, so true. For no one else can take your places. We'll remember all your faces. Think of us a little bit, 'cause we'll be thinking of you. We'll be thinking of you, dear children. Just
AW 693 News.
18 degrees in Melbourne, some early drizzle today, a top of 26. It's midnight. Good morning, I'm Gary McQuaid. A motorcyclist has become the first person to die on Victoria's roads in 2016. Ashley Gardner reports.
It's understood the male motorcyclist was travelling west on Whitehorse Road in Nunawading at 8:30 last night when it appears he lost control and veered off the road.